Lipsky, Milwaukee Fire Chief. We're here right near 27th and Rawson, 27th and Loomis, very near a causeway that was flooded out and with extremely fast-moving water last night. We received reports into our dispatch center that we had one and possibly two, and then later possibly a third person had been pulled into the rushing water. We have since confirmed that we do in fact have 3 individuals missing. We do believe that to be an 11-year-old and 2 adults. I think you have that information already. Here is what we have done so far. It is horrendously dangerous to work on or in swift water, and this far exceeded swift water last night. You saw the water levels. Certainly swift water moving into an enclosed space in those tunnels provides us absolutely no opportunity to conduct some sort of rescue opportunity. I assure you those attempts would probably have resulted in either firefighter fatality or serious injury. So we were restricted from doing that based on those conditions. When darkness fell, shoreline searches, waterline searches weren't going to be too fruitful anymore. We discontinued, and we are back here today, and we are conducting a recovery operation at this point. So what we are doing, what you can see from your other footage likely, is this causeway spills into 3 separate conduits. Those run in parallel about 900 feet in roughly a westerly direction, and they bend about halfway through. They stay parallel to each other. A good section of the middle of this, each one of these turns into a cylindrical corrugated piping, continues on, and near the end it turns back into a flat concrete surface conduit. Each of the 3 are twins to the next. So we are going to be making entry into these now. As you can see, the water levels have dropped significantly. I'd like to thank County Office of Emergency Management, who has made contact with the National Weather Service and their hydrologist, which is able to inform us, with the assistance of the folks here from MMSD, that the water level rise is typically very, very rapid in a local storm right here, and rapidly drops when that storm ends. The reason this is important is we cannot commit people inside these tunnel spaces if upstream water is rushing towards us right now, because the water is going to win in every case. All right? We have been assured any water rise that has occurred and has gone down is done. We will not suffer any impacts from upstream water. Very important for firefighter and police officer safety. I'd like to just also be real clear here. The Milwaukee Fire Department is operating with its dive team, its heavy urban rescue team. The Milwaukee Police Department is here with their officers as well as their Marine unit. We are going to be making a joint entry starting here real shortly. This joint entry is going to include precautions that include gas monitoring. We are going to be tethered, so if we have to haul one of our own members out who suffers an injury, we have that capability. Now, 900 feet is a long distance, so this is quite the operation. You'll see we're setting up a hauling system anchored off on that pole over there. Communications underground are quite difficult, all right? Digital radios, phones, etc., they just stop working about 30 feet in. So we're going to be switching to an analog station that these radios afford us, but those are only line of sight, so we're going to have to set up relays as we work around these bends. If we lose communication with our members, we do have or they run into trouble, we have a backup team staged on the shoreline. They'll make immediate entry and we'll go get them. If we meet any gaseous environment in there or low oxygen, we're pulling our teams. If we meet impassable snarls or snags in the form of branches, etc., we're going to pull our team. Unless, of course, we do locate a victim, we'll work to remove that victim. But there is a risk-benefit analysis that has to occur in these situations, and through a preponderance of caution and due diligence, we are going to extend those margins and try to make some recoveries. We don't have a specific knowledge base that would point us towards that we know for certain a victim is in any one of these 3 tunnels. We don't know that, but we have to check. I can't thank MMSD and their representatives. They've been here providing us with mapping, first-person knowledge of the construction of the inside of these tunnels, the understood water behavior and currents and conditions inside those tunnels can't thank MPD enough. It's been a very good partnership here setting up our plan. We also have Office of Emergency Management that I mentioned, National Weather Service. We have the Milwaukee Fire Club that's going to keep us hydrated. So unfortunately, it's going to be quite warm today. I do want to offer, more important than anything else I've said here, that our thoughts and prayers and our condolences go out to the family of these people who are waiting on the return of their family members. This is an absolutely horrible situation, and we just want to make sure that leads on this story. This is just an absolutely horrible situation for this family.
Given the conditions last night, do you think there's any way they could have survived this?
In that tunnel, no. If there's every potential that they made it out the other side, but it depends if they were able to remain on the surface or subsurface. If they went subsurface, it's well understood in dive rescue. As soon as you lose your buoyancy, you're going down. So if they made it out the other side and they had already lost their buoyancy, that there's no way to survive that.
How close are those three tunnels to each other?
It's exactly what you can see from the surface here. They run parallel to each other, separated just by that concrete wall.
Have you guys ever had to rescue someone in these tunnels?
Yes.
So you've trained for this. You know what to expect.
We've trained to encounter a whole bunch of variables and to put together a plan that provides the best possible outcome. This is just another one of those.
Are there search operations happening elsewhere right now?
Yes. We also are coordinating, forgot to mention the Coast Guard as well. We are coming upstream, all the way from the harbor, working upstream, covering shoreline searches as well as water surface searches with small inflatable rafts that will allow us to get into some tighter spots.
Because it could have carried them?
100% yes. So if they made it through, and again, these are all ifs, we have a fairly firm witness on an entry to the tunnel. We have no witnesses in one direction or another on the exits of these tunnels. So they could have made it out, they could have not, but we have to check literally this concrete area we have to check.
And the boy's father, is he also one of the missing?
I have very little knowledge on the specific relationships, but I think it has been widely reported in the media already.
Are the helicopters overhead, or any of those yours?
No.
You'll be out here all day as long as it takes?
Yeah, our crews are going to be out here. We're going to do each tunnel one at a time because of the necessity to provide protection for each of those entry crews, provide the gas monitoring, the retrieval capabilities, and if we are able to recover anybody, we can certainly, that's going to take a tremendous amount of effort in and of itself.
Chief, what do you think the greatest challenge will be?
The greatest challenge is just going to be the duration, and if we are to find somebody, we're going to need to bring those people out with dignity. And I guess I would ask you, professional to professional, that at such time that happens, we'll make you aware, and we prefer you not film that. Questions? Alderman, did you want to say?
Have you been in touch with the family?
I have not yet. We haven't identified the potential victims. I just wanted to say this is potentially a moment of unspeakable tragedy. As a father myself, I live not far from here. My boys have been interested in the culverts. I've said since day one how dangerous they are. I'd like to thank the chief, his team at MFD. They are taking risks. They're calculated to ensure the safety of the units, but their heroism here is not gone unrecognized. I'd also like to thank MPD, MMSD, and the other partners. But as a parent, this is the unthinkable. It truly is. And it's instinctual to want to play around these creeks. What you have to know is they are death traps. In a rain events like this, I was talking to MMSD, they're saying 20 feet a second of flow, 400 to 500 pounds of pressure. A grown man can't resist that. So just everyone has to be aware, as quiet as it seems right now, these are dangers in our midst. So thank you.
How high would the water have been last night? How deep?
You know, I don't have an exact number, but I can tell you that from our observations, the V-shaped concrete channel was almost all the way full. So that, I don't even want to hazard a guess, but it's considerably deeper than it is right now. Too deep. Any other questions, folks? All right, we're going to get back to work. I appreciate your interest in this, and if you guys, in any fashion, make contact with the family, offer our condolences until we can communicate with them.
You said not. So you're going to be searching 900 feet. Is that
Times 3. Yeah,
So each tunnel.
that's correct.
okay?
Is that 900 feet because it goes deep into the earth? It goes.
It's
around-
length, 900 feet of
Okay.
length. So what you see here is about the level it'll come out at.
Okay.
It's 900 linear feet from here to there. So we've got to search each one.
Will you be doing it one by one?
That's correct.
One by one.
Yeah, we simply are limited by equipment and staffing to do them all concurrently.
And is over here where he went in?
That's the belief.
Yeah.
This is where they all would have
Okay.
gone.
So the water is flowing in what direction? It's flowing in that direction.
That's correct.
Okay.
So we're going to start from upstream, work downstream.
Thank you.
We do believe it gives us the best potential to come upon any potential natural snag points that have occurred from branches and trees and debris or whatever that may have clogged up. We don't know if there's a clog. We're making some assumptions that with that amount of water, we always know there's branches and debris floating through there. We're making some assumptions that there will be some sort of snag points